We will be looking at every team in the auction plus their retentions, looking at every single player and giving a conclusion on their team at the end of the video. We have 5 rankings: steal, good, average, bad, and trash, and 1 final ranking, no clue, which means I have no clue about the player. But the final challenge, I have to do it in less than 10 minutes, so no cuts nor edits. The timer starts now. The no luck Super Giants weren't great last year. The middle order was their best part, but still just average. Everything else was pretty below average. Anyway, they retained Nicholas Puran for 21 crores. He's definitely one of the greatest batters of all time in T20s, and the dude can literally accelerate from like 90 to 250 in the span of 2 overs. And he also keeps, so he deserves every single one of those rupees. He's a pretty good pick. Ravi Bishnoi is kind of a steal for 11 crores, easily the second best leg spinner in India right now. He's only 24 years old as well, and he's already doing pretty well in T20s. He has 171 wickets in 142 innings, averaging 22.6. He's only going at 7.2 as well, which is pretty amazing, especially for a young player. Even if he doesn't take wickets that much, he'll still impact the game with his economy, which is the great thing about him. His main skill is flight, so a good fielding team would always be important, but LSG is not that good of a fielding team right now. They do have Jonty Rhodes as coach, which is pretty good, but right now they don't look like a good fielding team. Next, Mayank Yadav was retained for 11 crores. He was LSG's breakout player last season, and it's hard to find an actual fast bowler in India, so when one comes up, it's always nice to see. And Mayank Yadav was that fast bowler. Most fast bowlers from India either slow down a significant amount in pace, get injured, or go for a lot of runs. But that hasn't seemed to happen to Mayank. He did slow down a bit during his India debut, but did end up bowling at a proper pace. And his stats are solid as well, so a dangerous investment for the future, but he's looking good for them right now. Next, they retain Moshe Khan for 4 crores, 6'3", and 26 years old. He should make a good T20 fast bowler, and he does. He's just not in the best form. He did do extremely well in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy and has been dropped from the Uttar Pradesh side in Vijay Hazare Trophy. He does have good stats in T20s, and while he wasn't good in the past 2 IPL seasons, he was vital to LSG's great season in IPL 2022. So it's an average buy, but only due to his current form. Ayush Badoni was retained as another uncapped player for 4 crores. I'm pretty sure this was only because he smashed that 165 of a 55 in Delhi Premier League. But he's shown his potential, which is pretty average. He has average stats in T20s as well, and isn't consistent in Vijay Hazare Trophy nor SMAT. So these are alright retentions. Not good, but not so bad that it ruins the team. On to the auction buys. Rishabh Pant is a pretty bad pick. I mean, he's not a bad player. This guy's probably one of, if not the greatest wicketkeeper batter on the planet right now. Not greatest, best, I should say. He's only bad because he's the most expensive buy in IPL history, and I don't think he's worth that much in T20s. His stats are pretty good there, though. 5,022 runs in 191 innings, striking at 145 and averaging 32. He's also a good keeper with 131 catches and 36 stumpings in 202 matches. That's like 0.8 dismissals per match. His problem is in T20s, he sometimes plays a little too rash when he's under pressure and just gets randomly out. I mean, look at all of his dismissals, not even in just T20. Stupid! Plays a little rash. Most of them are caught out after a couple of dots. The ability to put the last ball out of your mind is really important, not just in T20 cricket, but in batting as well, which is what Travis Head does. Travis Head doesn't really have like the talent that some batters right now do, but he's able to put that last ball out of his mind, which means he doesn't get set up very easily. Like, for example, all of those near misses to the outside edge from Bumrah in the final, but he was just able to smash the next one of those that he bowled in like probably like a few more overs for 6. Just amazing skill. So he's not the best T20 player, but he's definitely a great one nonetheless, just not worth 27 crores. Mitchell Marsh is kind of a trash pick for 3.4 crores, an all-rounder who doesn't bowl, bats a little, but fields pretty solidly. But the fielding doesn't justify his position. He's pretty inconsistent in T20s, and for a top order batter, his strike rate doesn't justify his price. Avesh Khan is a bad pick for 9.75 crores. I know I always say that Indian fast bowlers are worth it, but not this one. His problem is that he's either really good or really bad. He's super inconsistent. One match he'll take 1 wicket going for like 12 runs and over, and then the next one he'll take 3 wickets going for 23 runs, and then play like a quick cameo or something with the bat, or do something amazing on the field. He's also generally expensive with the ball, so yeah, that's it for Avesh. Next, Aiden Markram. Aiden Markram himself is a batter with so much talent, yet he's not consistent at all. He's like Tom Latham, Ravi Bopara, Mohammad Asif, Vinod Kamble, players like that. Aiden Markram doesn't have the best T20 stats, but he is pretty good in international T20s, which is usually against a pretty great bowling lineup. So he's a solid captain, but doesn't perform well. It's unfortunate that he's so inconsistent, so it's an average pick. Shahbaz Ahmed for 2.4 crores is another average pick. I'm sorry I'm throwing all of these average picks out. There's so many average picks for this team. Yeah, average pick for Shahbaz Ahmed, 2.4 crores. He's a pretty good cricketer in domestic games like VHT, SMAT, Ranji. He's pretty good there, but he's not good in IPL, which is his only problem. His batting and bowling stats are really bad. He's been given a lot of opportunities, but he's never shown up. But he's in pretty good form with the bat and ball right now, so maybe he's doing something. And he's in his prime age-wise. So, I don't know, maybe this could be his breakout season. David Miller was bought for 7.5 crores. This is like LSG's best players. Like, right now on this team, it's like their only good player. So get used to me either having very little info about these players and then making assumptions, or not assumptions, just like educated guesses, or just bashing them outright. I mean, most people know how good he is. I don't have to say anything. He's just one of the best batters in T20s. Probably not of all time, but he's just a pretty good batter in T20s. Abdul Samad is an average pick for 4.2 crores. He's definitely an average player right now, but there's definitely some potential for him. And a coach like Langner can definitely bring out his best. There's potential, essentially. He's a pretty great batter, wasn't the best in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, but he was an integral part of SRH in 23 and 24. So he's a pretty average pick for an average player. Next, Aryan Jiao. He's talented, super inconsistent. By the way, he's only been good like really recently. I'm pretty sure like 2023 and 24 seasons of Syed Mushtaq Ali Ranji and Vijay Hazare. His stats look fine for a player of his age and experience, so he's a good pick. Akashdeep is mainly a test bowler, but he's honestly a pretty solid bowler in all formats. Has pretty good stats at T20s, is just a solid player in general. He went for 8 crores, which is fairly expensive, but he's in his prime age-wise, so I think it's a this is just some spectacular scouting from the Super Giants. Look at him in the Uttarakhand T20 League. Like, what do I even say? He's pretty young, has a strike rate of like 192.5 and more than 300 runs, and the trophy, just insane. Matthew Britsky is a good pick because he's a wicketkeeper and is solid in T20s. He's an overseas player as well, and he's pretty good in all formats he's played. Just hasn't been good against a quality bowling lineup, which is his problem. So he'll have a few good matches if he ends up playing. Himmat Singh went for base price, which is an average pick. Obviously, some of these good and average picks aren't based on how quality these bowling attacks are, nor how many flat pitches they've played on. But still, Singh has been solid at T20s, but is completely out of form. I think he's played solid enough though. All of these on-cap players don't build that good of a batting core, but certainly one that has potential. They can probably play spin pretty well. M. Siddharth, the slow left-arm orthodox bowler who went for 75 lakhs, is a pretty good pick. The problem is that he only plays on spinning tracks. I think he'll do good in Ekna though. He wasn't great in his 3 IPL matches. I think against a good opposition on a non-spinning pitch, he won't be playing. But there's not many other ones to choose from for this team. Next, Akash Singh. He's a bad pick. He goes for runs, doesn't take enough wickets. Sure has shown potential, but nothing I could see that's worth it. Next, Shamar Joseph. I think he's a really good test bowler, but an average white ball bowler. Obviously, there's still some room for improvement. I mean, he's young now, but he's been leaking runs and not taking enough wickets to justify that. He's also getting injured quite a bit, and he was expensive, and he's an overseas player. Just not much going for him. Next, Raj Hangargaker. Another bad pick. I mean, look at the stats. It shows almost everything, and he gets unfifth after like 1 or 2 matches. Oh, whatever, man. I don't care enough. Just forget about that. Take that out of your mind. I'm sorry. I keep failing this. Just look at the stats. It says enough. He bowls fast, which is his only perk. But I think that Zahir Khan, LSG's new mentor, might be able to show him a few new things. Arshad Khan has played very few matches, but I see his potential. Just average in my opinion, but he could play a couple of matches. Now, time for the playing 12. Aryan Jayal and Yuvraj Chaudhary will open the innings. 1 anchor and 1 aggressor. Aiden Markram will play at 3. Yes, I know 2 anchors is stupid, but there's nothing else I can do. Puran at 4, Pant at 5, Miller at 6, Shabazz at 7. Crazy strong middle order. These spinners will totally lose their minds against this entire team. Abdul Samad at 8, just a really great finisher to pair with Miller and Shabazz. Avesh and Motion will be leaking a lot of runs, but hopefully Mayank Yadav and impact player Ravi Bishnoi will be able to clean that up. Only 1 frontline spinner is kind of bad. Yeah, this is for like away pitches, so I guess it's not really possible to have another one. There aren't enough true all-rounders on this team, which makes it hard to have a proper bowling attack. I guess on spinning tracks, Siddharth can play instead of Samad, but that will weaken the batting by a huge amount. So yeah, it's a pretty terrible team. Inexperienced top order, unbalanced bowling attack, no all-rounders, just a terrible team all-round. 9th place, just right before Rajasthan Royals on that table.